Now, we are certainly keeping a close eye on Dennis for the very latest on the track of the storm. So let's check in now with meteorologist Mark Avery. Mark, what's happening?
Dennis is still just sitting out there and looking pretty sickly right now. I mean, that's good news for the folks around here, especially anywhere east of I-95 across the Carolinas. It's lost a lot of its thunderstorm activity, still sitting over cooler water, and it's not going very much of anywhere. The longer he sits in one place, the better for us. We'll take a look at where he is now, the coordinates and the forecast for that and the weekend coming up in a few minutes, Murph.
All right, Mark. Now, I suppose you're going to be using the D word a lot for the next few minutes.
You mean like dadgummit?
Well, that'll do, yeah.
Dadgummit. Yeah, I'm going to see you say it. Well, I already said it. Dennis. We'll talk about him next. Well, Dennis continues to try to transform himself from being a tropical system into a non-tropical system. He's kind of in between. He's not entirely tropical, but he's not entirely non-tropical yet, so he's still being classified as a tropical system. Satellite, we're getting a few of the clouds into the area from the western edges, and we'll see those clouds overnight. And not much as far as shower activity around the center of Dennis right now, and the center is just kind of drifting slowly towards the south there. You can see that on the loop here, and some of the higher clouds blowing off towards the top up to the north. So as he continues to meander, and actually with Dennis staying close to the coast, that's good because he stays away from the Gulf Stream, which keeps him from getting keeps him from strengthening, which is good because then he'd pop back up to hurricane strength possibly. But as long as he stays away from the Gulf Stream, stays near the land where there's no water to tap to help feed himself, he will stay a tropical storm. But overall, tonight, clouds from Dennis down to the mid to upper 60s tonight. Skywatch Neighborhood Network from Alltel takes us to the Blockade Runner. Windy day down there at the beach, 45-mile-per-hour peak wind gust there, and 77 right now with the northeast to north wind there. Here in the backyard, 75 with a peak wind of 30 miles per hour today. Check the official numbers today at the airport, up to 85 this afternoon, down to 67, and of course no rainfall to speak of. Here's the latest coordinates as of 11 o'clock, 33.8 north, 74.3 west. That's 125 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, drifting south-southwestward southward, and maximum sustained winds are still at 60 miles per hour. Now, one thing that is in the atmosphere that will help to kick Dennis out of here eventually, and although it looks like maybe towards the end of the middle of next week, is this digging trough over the western part of the country. The trough is where the jet stream heads south, and this eventually will scoot its way across the country, and if nothing else gets Dennis out of here, that will, but unfortunately it's going to take a while to get here. In the meantime, in the east, the steering currents are very weak. Okay, imagine this. Dennis is driving a car. He's stuck at a dead end, he's run out of gas, and his brakes don't work, his steering doesn't work, and he's in a bad neighborhood because 2 million people along eastern North Carolina and southeast Virginia and eastern South Carolina don't like him roughing up the coast. So what he's doing, he's on an incline, a very slight incline that slopes just very slightly down to the south and west, and that's helping to steer him a bit because the ridge in the upper part of the atmosphere is pushing him that way. And because of that, the track on Dennis is going like this, staying just off our shore. And I want to point out that this is probably a little overestimated as far as the wind speeds. We'll see some windy and cloudy conditions this weekend and some light to moderate showers. But these tracks can be very large errors, especially with the way he's moving erratically and staying in place. And the more he stays in place, the less sure that we are of where he's going. But we'll keep an eye on it just in case he does do anything. But it's just, personally, I think it's going to be more of a wind and cloud event than a rain event. There you go. Tomorrow morning in the 70s, a few clouds, northwest and north winds. Tomorrow overall, 85 for the high, clouds on the increase during the afternoon, north to northwest winds 15 to 30 miles per hour. Along the coast, small craft advisory, and be careful of rip currents. Tomorrow, do not go in the ocean. Northwest winds 20 to 25 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet. Water's at 77, which is another thing Dennis doesn't like, it's cool water. High tide at 1:45, low tide at 7:45. Here's your 6-day forecast. Dennis is going to hang around for a while until that trough in the west finally kicks his tail out of here. If nothing else gets rid of Dennis, that will, because that is the next train to come and take Dennis out to the middle of the ocean. And to cool temperatures, though, in the meantime. Dennis is coming back, but he will be a shade of his former self.
Well, that's good news. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, Mark.